Well, lucky me, I got a chance to get off early. I only have to work half a day tomorrow, and then get a chance to kind of enjoy the holiday. Actually, kind of had some nice travels too, so that's been kind of fun. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and to all the Turner Syndrome sisters and friends, and Brother Mark with a kind of a thoughtful walk home and another episode of Turner Syndrome's Butterflies. Brother Mark, Turner Syndrome's Butterflies in Life. After a nice cold week, it's kind of nice and temperate. So, I remember a story. I love to share it with another with another butterfly that we were talking, and many years ago, there was sister was one of my favorite sisters was struggling. Just had lots of anxiety, had trouble opening up, and even though we were good friends, and I kind of stopped and paused and said, you know, do you think that maybe the official animal of the Turner Syndrome Society should be the turtle? She thought about it for a second, and she just broke out into utter paroxysms of laughter. I've never seen anybody laugh so hard. She had to say, after she recovered herself, she said, okay, Mark, you got me. All right. I was fair in love and war, I will say. Now, if we can just get that delivery driver to take his vehicle off and his ghetto blaster with him, we'll be all set. Not soon enough for me, but anyway. A lot of things, and it's, the one thing I have to remember, I have trouble opening it up, and I have trouble, thinking, what do people think of me? I've got a lot of victory in it. And today I was talking with another sister, and she kind of echoed, said, it's so hard for me to open up. And considering all the stigma, considering all the bullying, considering, I think, the anxiety and the depression that just comes with it, yeah, it's hard. I get it. But I also know there's also a whole saying is you're only sick as your secret, so it is hard to open up. And sometimes there's just taboo. It's butterfly taboo. It's just hard to open up. And the bullying's been one. It's been really, and it's hard because of all the bullying, and it's hard to stand up, and it's hard, and the drama is just so wearisome. And that's a taboo. I actually happened to have some time at work, so I went back and read the handbook on Turner Syndrome put up by Turner Syndrome Society Canada. If you've never picked it up, it's a great volume. It's an easy but thorough read. The last chapter actually talked about the important things that adult butterflies need to do, and the ones that they're in then. And sometimes it's the very hard ones to do, and obviously, taking care of oneself from abusive relationships and taking appropriate precautions. But also learning about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. And, I had to think to myself, is that a problem? I mean, I've seen, I've talked to some sisters with some baggage, and we've all got baggage. I'm wondering, is that another taboo? Something that we're afraid to talk about? What are the other things that are never talked about? I'm afraid to be talked about if the secrets came out. And I would go back and appeal to that statement as you're only as sick as your secrets. Maybe another one that's hard to, because then we look at our own mortality, and that's kind of the issue of the cardiological problems. And I would very much echo all the sisters over the years that please make sure you're checked out, make sure you're monitored, work with your cardiologist. If the results come back negative, fantastic. If they don't, you still have a supportive community that will walk alongside of you. But it hurts all of us when we lose a sister, and we lost a couple. And I remember we lost a dear sister who was a very prominent part of the community. And I think that Brooke Gonsalves hit it, and I would echo her and say, take care of yourself. The nice thing though with the internet, the nice thing with, I think thanks to two men that were helping alcoholics, that it kind of bred other 12-step programs, hundreds of them. And I think today, maybe not too many people know about Turner syndrome, but there are great recovery communities out there. And you probably know them far better than I do. But I obviously take advantage of them. What are some other taboos? There's the taboo of having outsiders having an interest in Turner syndrome. And I was thinking about this in the most odd little way. Many years ago, I had a great friend who, from high school and then on to college, and lived in the Jewish community of the east side of Providence. And his mom and dad, just great folks. And I know when his dad passed away. I heard about it many years later. And the funny thing is, my friend made a contribution to the rabbi's discretionary fund in his dad's memory. And I thought I wanted to do the same thing, but I wasn't part of the Jewish community. And would there be a breach of etiquette if somebody was not part of the Jewish community made a contribution to the rabbi's discretionary fund? It was obviously helping members of the temple that were in need. Maybe they needed help with rent. Maybe they needed help with utilities. Maybe they lost a job. Maybe they need something just to help them tide over until the next paycheck or the monthly pension check or Social Security check, whatever the needs were. Or maybe a member of the congregation had a fire, and the list goes on and on and on. And that's what the rabbi's discretionary fund was for. And I had to admit, I had a fear. Would I be accepted if I did something like that? I'll find out, and somebody will correct me and said, "Yeah, Mark, that probably wouldn't have been bad for him." Or, "Oh no," I know somebody may have easily said, "Oh no, Mark." I would think, no, the rabbi would have greatly accepted the contribution, and especially in his father's memory. I don't know the answer, and I'm sure somebody well versed in Judaism will teach me the proper etiquette. But there was that kind of fear, somebody from the outside, and that's kind of been a taboo. Well, I guess the answer to that one, well, in some respects I can relate. I can relate to being afraid to open up. I can relate to the bullying because, oh boy, I've been through it. I can relate to the learning disabilities. I can relate to the depression. I can relate to the obsessive compulsive disorder, I can relate to the insomnia and wanting to get a good night's sleep, and sometimes I see Facebook posts, or I'll get text at 3:00 in the morning. So, you up, Mark? I can't turn my brain off. Yeah, I got a few minutes. Hey, let's chat. And sometimes just being there can make all the difference. One of the taboos sometimes is dealing with fear. What would happen if the truth came out? Well, I can answer that one. It's no longer a secret. It loses its power. And there's a chance for healing and to learn, what was all that about? What can I learn from it? Yeah, I knew the package deal coming in with the butterfly community. And to borrow from Jim McKay of ABC Wide World Sports, yeah, sometimes we see the thrill of victory and we see the agony of defeat. What would I like to see for 2020? I think a lot of the taboos to be brought out. I think a lot of what really happened, what's really going on. I would like to see the Turner Syndrome community set up a code of ethics against bullying. If there are conflicts and accusations, that fair, the fair way, the proper investigation, if you take care of it. Here's one of our neighbors. This is Static. Say hi, Static. Yeah. Yeah. She's kind of neat. She'll actually come up and adore and meet you. So that's what I like to see, and be able to deal with our fears. Maybe go from fear to faith. Maybe to go from shame to grace. Maybe to go to darkness to light. I'm trying to fish for my keys at the same time. Maybe to see a lot of healing and a lot of growth, and see a lot of butterflies on TS community go places they've never dreamed of. Well, have a good holiday, folks. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And let me see if Hannah's going to come up, and we'll see if Hannah will come up and say hello. Yeah, hi, Hannah. Hey, hi, girl. Okay, well, wife still hasn't come home yet, but all right. Merry Christmas from Mark, Michelle, Hannah, and Boo to all our butterflies and friends. And I'll talk to you next time.